In today's video, I'll be teaching you all of the things you need to know to get to grips with Claude in Word. So one of the first things you'll need to do is make sure you install this. If you're familiar with the Microsoft Suite, then this should be fairly easy. You probably should have this installed. But if you don't, just click add-ins, then just search for the word Claude and you will see it successfully pop up. Just click add and then it will pop up in the top right-hand side. Once you're there, just click open and it should open to this area. Now, if this area doesn't load properly, just hit one of these drop-down menus and one of these buttons, either it's this one or this one, it should have a refresh option. If it's glitched out, hit that refresh button and then you should be able to load back in. It's happened to me a few times and I'm not aware of everyone saying this bug. And so that's a quick way to fix that. Now do remember that this Word essentially runs on the Claude with two different models. And so you will actually need a paid plan. So that means you'll either need the Pro plan or the Max plan. So if you don't have those, it won't actually work. So try and get one of those plans before trying to sign up or debug any issues. So one of the things I would recommend if you're using Claude is to just use Sonnet 4.6 or Opus 4.6. Usually the Sonnet models are enough to get things done unless you are going to be doing mathematics. This is something that people make a mistake on because the usage here is still the same across all of your accounts. There isn't individual usage in this Claude account from the other ones. So just make sure that when you're using this, account, you don't really want to be using Opus 4.7 too much if you're not doing any math. Now, one of the most important settings that you want to look at before you're going to be doing this is if you click more options and settings, there are two settings here that are really cool. And I think one of them is the work across files. So the reason that this is so powerful is that if you're working with multiple different Word documents and Excel, rather than switching between contexts consistently, you can just have this ticked on, and this essentially allow you to work between multiple different Office files. So if you have Claude for Excel and Claude for PowerPoint, for example, if I just open up Excel and then I click, once again, just click add-ins and then enable Claude. And let's say I leave this open and then I go to PowerPoint and then I also have this open, it will allow me to actually have the context across all three different sources. So if that is something that you need, enable this setting so later on in the video, we're able to use this very easily. Of course, one of the easiest things that you can do with Claude is that you can go ahead and ask it to just simply write you an essay or paragraph about any given topic. I could say, write me a paragraph about why ASI could be the end of human civilization as we know it. And I've deliberately done this in a vague way to show you how we can make this even better and how Word actually works. Now here you can see it immediately writes the paragraph, and this is nothing new. We know Claude is a very good writing machine, but what difference does it make in Word? So one of the first things that Word does, which is really cool, is it allows you to highlight and edit text in a granular way. So let's say, for example, I highlight this, I would say here, and then what I would do, because you can see now that I've highlighted this, when I put my next prompt in, this is actually going to use the text to prompt this highlighted section. So I can now say expand this section. So it's only going to expand the highlighted section, which is remarkably useful. Now here you can see it actually did go a bit overboard. You can see it expanded from one paragraph to now 5. You can see it actually adds multiple different sections about surpassing human cognitive ability in multiple domains. And this is of course fairly useful. Now let's say this text is written in a way that we didn't want. We can essentially not highlight this and we can say rewrite the entire thing for a dumbed down audience, so anyone can easily understand. And so now what this can do is simply just change all of the text. Now remember that this is really useful for just quickly reformatting things. Maybe you needed it in a certain consultant style. Maybe you have your skills, which you can just click plus and enable those skills. And then of course you can have those specific styles in the way that you need it to write. Being able to quickly reformat the entire style is something that is very useful. And don't forget that even if you highlight a certain part, you can also highlight this and say, hey, reformat this in a certain style, explain this more, explain this section more, make this more complex. And so here you can see it actually rewrote all of these 5 paragraphs. Now, once again, the text looks messy. So let's make another change. We can say add subheadings and a title for clarity. And then I can also say add some bullet points also. So one of the other things you can do is you can just format it in terms of bullet points, headings, and after this, I'll show you how you can even highlight certain areas. Now here you can see all of the changes made. You can see the titles, subheadings, and the 3 bullet lists. It's always good to prompt with as much detail as possible, as well as with as much clarity as possible, so Claude doesn't get confused. Now I can see we have a beautiful article here that is definitely useful. Now another thing that I do like to do, let's say you've been given a complex document and maybe you don't want to read it, but you kind of want to know certain areas. What you can do is say, highlight the areas that talk about safety. I've said, highlight the areas that talk about AI safety. Now, this is super basic, but if you're viewing a very large document, what this allows you to do is not just have the standard Control F and find some, obscure word. This allows you just to search with a certain number of characteristics that you're looking for. And so you can visually describe those pieces and find that in the text. This is something that is really useful for me. Maybe I'm looking at a document online. Maybe I just have a YouTube transcript that I want to analyze. I can say, look at this script and analyze parts where there's rising tension. Look at parts where there is, a lot of viewer drop off. Look at parts where the script may be a bit too boring for a YouTube audience. This highlight function, I believe, is probably one of the most underused functions that currently exists in this, because this has a vast amount of applications that you can use it for. You could say highlight areas in this contract where I may be getting screwed over. Highlight areas that I need to forward to my lawyer for more scrutiny so that I'm ensuring the contract is airtight. Highlight parts of my writing that make me sound weak. Show me areas that make me feel strong, or show me areas that may make it seem like I'm overdoing it. You can understand this is something that is really useful, because before you want to make those changes, you can then highlight this, delete it, ask it to rewrite it. It is something that is super, super useful. Now, another feature that I think is really good is, of course, clicking the plus button and making sure search for the web is on. So now what I can do is I can say add a paragraph that is based on the most data. Call it the recent ASI update. And so what it will do is it will search the web. So I can say search the web. And so rather than going over to your browser to find information, although I still do recommend that, Claude can just browse the web from this area. So now it's essentially going to run searches. Do understand that these searches aren't going to be the kind of deep searches that you do need. But if you need a quick Google search for data such as some simple information, this is something that is a quick time saver. You don't need to go around from tab to tab. You can just ask Claude to double check, search the internet, and then it's going to return that information and update it with the information that you do need. Now here you can see Claude wants to actually have a permission. And this is something that I would say if you're working in certain documents, only have allow once. But of course, if you're working in something that is fairly not that high risk, you can just put on dangerously always allow. Now do remember that Claude can and will often make mistakes. So it's important that you probably only do allow once, as these models are generative and they will make mistakes sometimes. So you always want to be able to understand what they're deleting and what they're changing. Now you can see that we've created this document, highlighted this document. We even got, new information. You can see it talks about March 2026, February 2026. This is all stuff that is extremely useful. Now, another thing that I find extremely useful here is that, like I said at the beginning, you can actually work across multiple files. So if you're working through Excel, PowerPoint, and the Microsoft Suite, this is really useful, because if you literally click this button here, you can see that we have other connected files. And this is the book 1, which is the Excel book. And then this is, of course, the PowerPoint presentation. Let's pull up this demo. And what I'm going to ask Claude to do is essentially give me some information on the sales data. So what I can do here is, considering that I've got this regional sales data and all of this data from this Excel sheet, let's say I wanted to take all of this sheet and draft it into a fully fledged document that I could send out to a letter of investors. I'll just need to open up a new Claude document, open up the Claude tab, make sure that the Claude tab is open on this one as well. And so now you can see I've got 4 things here, and you can see that the Claude for Excel tutorial demo, that's the exact file I need. And I'm going to say, use the Claude for Excel tutorial demo to write a letter to shareholders, letting them know exactly how the company is doing. Make it as formal and corporate as possible, and sign it with my name, Andrew Black. Now, what's really interesting about this is that Anthropic don't really talk about this, but Claude essentially has sub-agents in the browser, and those agents will then talk to each other. So the Word agent will then go ahead and talk to the Excel agent, and you can see it's actually working here, and it says, I'm going to read this for you and I'm going to send it back to you. And so the agents work together to transmit the data to one another, and then eventually they come back with the response. And so we can actually take a look at what it was able to deliver here, which is super useful. So it was able to deliver this fully fledged document with not only a table, but multiple summaries of what the business was able to do. It, of course, gave closing remarks. It then, of course, summarized absolutely everything. I mean, if I look at the Excel data, I know that all of these values are accurate. And I think that it is very useful to, of course, go ahead and do a quick check over, because you don't want to be responsible if Claude does make a mistake, because oftentimes it will. It is rare, but they can make mistakes. And of course, you want to catch them before they go out to people that you work with, your companies, because of course, people aren't always checking over the documents. So just make sure you are. Now, I do think that this is, of course, pretty useful because, like I said, the entire thing here is that whilst, yes, Claude in Word is useful, it becomes even more powerful when you combine it with data from PowerPoint and data from Excel. So if you want to, import that data, don't forget to just open it up, have the thing on the sidebar, and it's going to be able to do that. Now, don't forget also, you can just click the plus button here, and then you're going to be able to upload said files. That way, if you want to input a PDF, a Word document, or even images, it's going to be able to extract that info and place it into the Word document, something that is really useful. Now let's take a look at another example that I found to be exceptionally useful. On Word, they often have a bunch of different templates that I find really, really useful. One of them being a professional resume. So you can see we've got bold sales resumes, we've got content marketing guidelines. And so what this allows you to do is absolutely edit these. And so here in this document, what we can do is say, fill out this CV for John Doe. He's 58, a marketing manager, lives in London, West London, has deep experience in online digital marketing and affiliate marketing for the last 20 years. Add any other details necessary. And so one of the key things here is that as I've tested this out a lot, Claude has actually done pretty well when it comes to documents, but image heavy documents that require multi-formatting, documents that just require a little bit too much, it isn't always the best to be able to do that. So I would recommend you being super, super specific. So documents where they have, different borders and all of these different blocks, sometimes Claude will get a little bit complicated and can mess up the formatting. So here you can see that does occur. In those cases, one of the easiest things you can always do is always just click Control Z, because this is going to be something that can just allow you to do that again. So you can either just hit forward or backwards. That's going to be something that just allows you, rather than saying to Claude, undo this, undo that, it's just going to save you a ton in credits. So if it doesn't get the task right, you can always switch to a higher reasoning model and you can say, redo this task, please. And sometimes it may get it right. Now, I would say it's not always best to just spend your compute credits trying to get it to work through the document, because eventually you will run out of usage. Claude is a notably expensive model. So I would just recommend, once you get that information, just paste it in, because often these things don't take as long as you do think. And with that being said, sometimes you can see that Claude doesn't always get this right with certain forms and formats. The issue is that Claude, depending on the reasoning level, can sometimes make mistakes. Now, do know that this did used to work. So maybe in future updates, formatting it from here to here will actually work. But right now, it doesn't seem to be working that well. And this is, of course, because Claude have changed the reasoning level to a bit lower. So I don't think it's smart enough to figure out how to change the text. But the point I'm trying to make here is that this is still a very useful tool for those of you who are filling out your own templates that contain perfectly editable files. So if you have something that is, box heavy, like there's all of these boxes and formats and different things that you need to change, don't forget that you can always try a simpler document, because that is the one that would likely work. And with that being said, if you guys have enjoyed this video, you can always join the free community by the link in the description so you can learn more about AI for completely free. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed today's video and you learned something.